Good evening and welcome to the great city of Opa-locka second budget hearing. It is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. The time is 6:41 p.m. This meeting is called to order. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass.
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez.
Here.
Mayor
Here.
Williams.
Here, please stand for a moment of silence followed by a pledge of allegiance. Thank you. Madam Attorney, can you please read agenda item 5.1 into record?
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, adopting a final millage rate pursuant to section 200.16.065 Florida statutes for fiscal year 2022-2023, setting forth public hearing dates, providing for adoption of representations, providing for repeal of all prior ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. The first reading, public hearing was held on September the 14th, 2022, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, if you can't. Assistant Manager, can you please introduce the item?
Sure. Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and Commission. This is second reading item to adopt the city's final millage rate pursuant to section 200.065 Florida statutes for fiscal year 22-23. And I will ask Mr. Anathan to come forward after public presentation.
Can I have a motion to move and discuss agenda item 5.1?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Commissioner Dominguez. Mr. Anathan.
Good evening. Good evening, Commissioner Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. We're almost there. Before we start, under Florida statute, I'm required to share the following information with you. The taxing authority, as you would expect, is the city of Opa-locka. The rollback rate that is consistent with what we're doing tonight is 8.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. Go ahead.
If you can give me 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open.
Madam
Public-
Mayor. Madam Mayor,
Yes.
we do have someone that has joined virtually, Ms. Dorothy Johnson.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, Commissioner Johnson, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Hold on, I've had some challenges here today getting on this here. Bear with me. Don't start the clock.
You're good, you're good.
Thank you. I too have, as a member of the City of Opa-locka Audit Committee, it's both you and I are members. And I have a concern. I have a concern with the previous consultant firm that the city paid so much money to, has been here since 2016-17, and we don't have records to complete, and everything both you and both of the commissioners have stated, it was put on the record for accountability. How have we gotten here without the city commission monitoring and putting your foot down? Now, I've said before, the audit is the city commission, not staff. That's your responsibility. We're not gonna do this now in the public, but I really need some answers. Secondly, I've gone over your budget booklet. I need someone for clarification to tell me, where is the litigation settlement funds? Where can I find it in your booklet? And since you have one of your staff members there, I have my booklet here. You can just direct me to it. Secondly, where is the reserve funding? In order for the city commission to get out of the oversight committee, I will assume, like we did in 2002 to 2005, you need to have some reservation money, reserve money. I need to know what line or what page I can find that. The PBA funds and the ASME funds, I need to know exactly, have the employees been paid? Are we up to salary? And the capital improvement versus, what is it called? The comprehensive plan. In order for us to do the branding and everything, we got a CRA. We have to look at these infrastructures, because the more I've gone around, and I just don't wait until it's time to do no campaign, I speak to people. That legislation has been approved since 2014. Now I realized the FBI came in and took money, took files and everything. But guys, ladies, gentlemen, come on. We have to have accountability. And I really appreciate the manager trying to, it seemed, in my opinion, because I haven't talked to him in a minute, I guess he's avoiding me, but it appears that he's trying to get us on the right track to get us out of it. And in order to avoid going back into it, we need some transparencies. We need some accountabilities. And we, the people, taxpayers, are holding this dream team responsible. And if I can get any answers through the presentation or after, I would greatly appreciate it. And you ladies and gentlemen, have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and others.
Public hearing is open. Madam Clerk, is there anyone else online?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Public hearing is closed. Thank you, Mr. Anathan. You can come back up.
Good evening again, Commissioner Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. As I was starting to say a moment ago, under the Florida statute, I'm required to share the following information with you. The taxing authority is the city of Opa-locka, as you would expect. Part of the process is to identify a rollback rate. The rollback rate for this plan is 8.5939 mils. As we've discussed several times, the recommended millage rate is going to be 9.3500 mils, and that is an 8.8% increase over the rollback rate. The additional funds that will be generated by having a millage rate above the rollback rate will be used to fund the renegotiated union contracts and also to update the city's fleet of vehicles. Thank you. Okay, very quickly, first hearing we're having now is on the millage rate. As I said a moment ago, the proposed millage rate is going to be 9.3500 mils. And let's see if I can get this to, there we go. Oops, too far. Okay, very quickly, as I said, the recommended millage rate is going to be 9.3500 mils. As we've talked a couple times, it is a 3.1% decrease over the current year millage rate, the year that just ended, I should say, of 9.6500. This millage rate at 9.35 will result in every homesteaded property in the city of Opa-locka will not experience a tax increase on the Opa-locka portion of their tax bill. That's all that I can add. I'm ready to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the dais?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Davis.
thank you. I just want to say thank you to the staff and everyone who has been working diligently to bring down our millage rate. When I was first elected in 2018, we had the highest millage rate in South Florida at 9.8 mils. And now to see, obviously we would like to be lower. And now to see that we have come down to the amount of 9.35 mils is excellent, as we're able to ultimately ease the tax burden on our residents. So just want to applaud staff. and all the hard work that you all been doing over the years. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anyone else? And I agree. We thank you. Anytime any type of tax can be lowered, it's greatly appreciated, and we greatly appreciate all the hard work that the staff has put into making this happen. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
thank you. Madam Attorney, if you can read item 5.2 into record.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, approving and adopting the city's general proprietary and special funds budget for the fiscal year 2022-2023, commencing October 1, 2022 through September 30th, 2023, providing for the expenditure of funds established by the budget, authorizing the city manager to take certain actions, providing for appropriation of all budget expenditures, providing for fees consistent with adoption of representations, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. The first reading and public hearing was held on September the 14th, 2022, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, you can introduce the item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is the second reading. The first reading, as the city attorney has stated, was on September 14th, 2022. I will ask that our budget administrator, Mr. Robert Anathan, be available to answer any questions for discussion.
This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed.
Madam
Mr.
Mayor,
Anathan.
can we just confirm whether or not Ms. Dottie Johnson wanted to speak on this item? I'm not sure she's
Oh,
still
she-
online. Okay, so thank
Okay,
you.
no worries. Thank you, Mr. Anathan.
Sorry. Good evening again, Commission. Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. Very quickly, my intent tonight is just to review the very high highlights that we've discussed. By way of reminder, the budget was discussed in great detail in the budget workshop that was conducted on July 21st. We did a review again on July 28th, submitted it to the state. The state has accepted the budget as submitted and has returned it for your review this evening. As I said, the agenda is just a very extremely high level review, looking at pages we looked at before, and then certainly ready to answer any questions. I can address Ms. Johnson's concerns if that's the will of the commission.
Yes.
Okay. I can tell, to identify the exact page number is going to take me a moment, but I can make reference to generally where it is. I'll do that at the end of the presentation. This, as I said before, this is a very exciting budget. It is really moving the city forward. There's an awful lot of green lights here in terms of the city's ability to move forward. The topics we have discussed before, and I'm just going to run through them very quickly. Revenue growth is extremely strong. The tax base grew 17% in this budget, and it would have grown higher if there's not a 10% cap on all growth in taxable base. So we did see a lot of growth. We're going to see a lot more next year, I believe. In terms of moving the city forward, we're looking at $25+ million of capital expenditure, which is really going to make the city start to really look different, bring it back to where it should be. Major expenditure beautification, very high priority on the commission agenda. At least $2 million are dedicated towards that objective. Do have a multifaceted dumping strategy, illegal dumping prohibition strategy as part of that. And that's already producing results. As I think you know, there's been at least one arrest from people who've been caught in the act of doing illegal dumping. As I said before, at the outset, as part of the requirement of the comments that I had to bring to your attention, we are coming to closure on 2 union contracts that have had no progress for 10 years. And now these are the rates that are implicit in the contracts or bringing it up into the needs of staff at this point. There is about 10% head growth in this budget, and that's to address various concerns of the commission. Another thing that's been done is there's been a certain amount of reorganization using span of control principles and so forth to ensure that the entire organization reports either to an assistant city manager or to a city manager to ensure that it gets the focus that's necessary for progress. General funds, stormwater funds, as I've told you several times, we're extremely healthy. Water sewer fund, we have some liquidity problems that are being addressed. There will be a ARPA CIP workshop at the end of October. There is about $25 million of capital in the budget at this point. None of these projects will be undertaken without coming back, so that what's in there now is placeholder for that $25 million. We have begun the installation, or we're about to begin the installation of the enterprise resource planning system, which will bring the technology of the city into the 21st century. You have authorized the hiring of a public relations firm so that we can effectively get out the city's message, reach out successfully to our residents, and also to provide the proper image that we think the city deserves. Another thing we've addressed is a major improvement in the city's fleet of vehicles, and you'll see that on the streets. You see it now in the police department. You'll also see it in other departments such as code and in public works to a point. One of the problems, as I said before, is the health of the water sewer fund. One of the problems has been delinquencies have been allowed to build up over time. Those are being addressed squarely now. We're making major improvements in it. There's something like $1.4 million of delinquent accounts that are being directly focused on at this point. Final highlight, we're getting out of the paper mode, as you're aware, with your non-paper agenda packages tonight. Doing controls is one of the things that is going to be required to get out of state control. And in the budget is the position for an internal auditor. In fact, you have approved, or correction, you're going to approve tonight, or you're going to be presented with the opportunity to approve tonight with a firm who will lead in taking care of a lot of the blighted properties, either get them squared away or, if necessary, take them through to foreclosure, part of the beautification plan. ShotSpotter, we've talked about. Parks Master Plan is starting to get underway to provide direction for the future of your Parks and Recreation program. Affordable housing is a major concern of the budget. The intent is to, over a 5-year period, to probably have several hundred, if not 1,000, new affordable dwelling units. This is an aspiration at this point. Return of Arabian Nights. We are reinvestigating a second community bus route. And as I said, the state did approve the budget as of August 26th. This is the last page that I'm going to show you. This is where, this is how we're spending money. In your upper left-hand corner, you have your operating funds, which are the primary source of your revenues, about $32 million. Lower left, your major capital programs, another 25 million. And the rest of it in total adds up to $64.4 million expenditure before concern about interfund transfers. That basically completes my presentation. Oops, sorry. That's not intended to be there. Can you run it backwards, please? Thank you. To answer Ms. Johnson's question, I believe she raised 3 issues. She asked about the litigation that is in the water sewer fund. It's recognized at this time we're evaluating whether it's going to be necessary to actually borrow $1 million from the general fund or be able to fund it directly from the water sewer fund, but it is included in the budget. Her second concern was reserve funding. Within this budget, within the general fund, we do have $1.25 million in for contingency. And I would also point out that going into the FY 23 budget for the general fund, we have a available fund balance of at least $10 million. Target requirement is 3.5, so there's more than ample reserves there. And her final question was in regard to the union settlements. They are incorporated into the budget, and in aggregate, there'll be about a $1.5 million between the two union settlements. So again, I can reach out to her and tell her exactly what pages those are on, but they are all addressed within the budget. At this point, I have nothing more to provide. I stand ready to answer any questions.
Okay, are there any questions from the commission? Okay, hearing none. Thank you so much, Mr. Anathan. Always succinct and precise
Try.
budget presentations. We appreciate that. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Madam Mayor, I need a motion and a second.
Oh, so sorry. Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Moved and second. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Can I have a motion to adjourn the second budget hearing?
Motion to adjourn.
Motions has been adjourned. Thank you so much. It's been moved in second. Thank you all so much. Please stick around. We will convene at 7:05 for our regular commission meeting.